And then, of course, as the NBA goes, the news cycle just changed on us. So Woj dropped some news just a little while ago that Russell Westbrook is going to be coming off the bench for LA. And I think we all knew this was coming. But just quick, what are your initial thoughts on that?
I thought we would get through a whole show without mentioning the Lakers, but here we are right at the top. I mean, I think it's the move. I think it's what had to have happened. I've been hearing a lot of people say, just sit them at home. And obviously that did not work. And also, this Lakers team does not have the depth to be able to do that. They need bodies at the end of the day. And, as we've seen, I think the Portland game, the closing of that is a perfect example. They just need more shooting. I'm interested to see who they start in place. So, according to, I think it was Dave McMenamin mentioned that at shoot around, it's Damian Jones that's starting in the starting lineup, meaning AD moves to the 4. I'd be surprised by that. I would think that they would need more shooting because if you look at the Lakers starting 5, no one there can shoot. It's not a Russell problem. Their problem is so much bigger than that. So it'll be interesting to see what Darvin Ham does there.
Yeah, I mean, Russ is not too excited about coming off the bench, understandably. And you and I actually had a little back and forth about this on the timeline because you were like, it's essentially a demotion. And I don't know, I don't look at it like that. Like, he's an NBA player. He's going to still keep getting paid the same amount of money. I get it. He'd be coming off the bench. But I just feel like his attitude towards coming off the bench could be a little bit more open-minded if that's going to be the best way to help the team win. But in fairness to Russ, I get that it's been a very difficult time in LA, so he may not be in the mood to be really amenable right now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of it being a demotion, this is a guy, and hinting at something that I want to bring up later on, who led the NBA in usage, like the history of the league. He had the highest usage rate at one point. I think moving to the bench and having, his first bench role since his rookie season kind of feels like a demotion for a guy who's won the MVP. I can understand him. Yeah, he's getting paid the same, but he's Russell Westbrook. He has the ball in his hands. He's how things move. We remember his time in OKC, even his time in Washington, which was not that long ago. The entire trajectory of that team changed because of his play. I think he still sees himself as that player, and to be told that you're hurting this team and this team is actually better when we cut your minutes and we bring you off the bench as opposed to starting, it's a little bit of an ego bruise, and I understand that.
Are they better though? Didn't they just lose again without Russ?
Yeah, everyone is making him the scapegoat. He is somehow the problem to this team. This team has lots of problems. Is he one of them? Sure. But he's not their sole problem. They're still going to have problems, whether he comes off the bench or whether he stays home. This Lakers team is flawed.
And I want to be clear, it's not so much that Russ is a problem, but the roster construction and what Russ can bring to your team is the problem, right? Does it surprise you that LeBron James, who's always praised for his high IQ, thought that this was going to be a good fit with him and Anthony Davis? Because traditionally, he needs shooters around him. So does it shock you that this is something that he was all in on?
Yeah, I mean, the formula to build around LeBron James is something that's been known for over a decade at this point, right? Miami's done it, Cleveland's done it. It doesn't make any sense, this idea that Russ said that he would change the way that he's played. I'm sorry, Russ and LeBron have never been great shooters. You don't put both of them together. They don't make sense. Even defensively, he just doesn't make sense for what this team wants to do. I even think that the reports of it could have been DeMar DeRozan, another guy who not an elite defender and also can't face the floor. So it's just the roster construction from this team always kind of seems flawed. But I mean, if I look at the way MJ has built teams, maybe superstars can play really well on the court, but they're not really. It's a different skill set to build a roster.
Yeah. Are you surprised by how the Lakers have started? Because there are definitely some surprise teams around the league, but I don't know that I'm too surprised that they look like this.
No, because the roster's flawed. You're just looking at this team and it makes sense that they're struggling. It makes sense that they haven't won the games because they just don't have the talent on paper, which sounds wild to say when they've got two players that, some people might even put in their top 5, top 10, top 15. But this NBA is loaded. Like, there's parity up and down. I'm more surprised that the Kings haven't won a game than I am where the Lakers are at.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.